Hello everyone, my name is the العتيبي and I am a participant in the Khibrat program at Oakland University here in the USA. And today we are having Dr. Suzanne Kline, a director of Galileo Institute, and she coordinates the Central Office Certification Program. Hello, Dr. Suzanne.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us, Doctor.
My pleasure.
And we would like to get started with the first question, Doctor. Like a little bit, could you tell us a little bit about your background and how are you related to this program?
Sure.
Yeah.
My background is I worked in a local school district for a long time, both as a teacher and an assistant principal and principal. I was a director of special ed. I was an assistant superintendent and curriculum trainer kind of person. Then I was a school superintendent for 15 years. And when I left that role, when I retired, I was fortunate because Oakland University was looking for a faculty member who could be part of the degree programs for doctorates and central office certification. Then the wonderful opportunity came to help design the Galileo Saudi Arabia Leadership Project. So I'm fortunate because I arrived in the right place at the right time to help not only design but be part of this. So my role here in the Galileo project is to be responsible, along with my colleague Dr. Martin, for working on your immersion experiences. You have wonderful opportunity with your English as a second language work, your Friday seminar, your mentoring circle, and your mentor discussions, but then the whole notion of then what does it look like in American schools becomes part of your immersion experience, and then what are the things that you're going to learn from that that will inform you as you think about how you can make the schools in your kingdom even more effective, or how some of the things we do here might match with some of the goals and the plans that are happening back in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. That brings us to the second question. Like, Ministry of Education dealing with so many universities around the USA. So how did Oakland University become part of this program?
It's a really interesting question because it was one of those pieces of good luck. One of the people that was working in Saudi Arabia helping locate possible universities with interest happened to know about the Galileo Saudi Arabia Leadership Project work that we've done here at Oakland and got in touch. And with that opportunity to help have some conversation and learn about the plans from your Ministry of Education, we decided to submit a proposal in response to the opportunity to do so, and we're thrilled when we were selected as one of the American universities to participate. So you're part of our third cohort, and we are enjoying the experience tremendously.
So you got 3 cohorts so far.
Yes.
So would you like to share with us like the similarities and differences among these groups or cohorts? Yeah.
Absolutely. What's been fascinating for me is to talk with each of the cohort members as we've gotten to know you and gotten ready to do your immersion placements, to see what your interests are. And in some cases they're very similar because you want to look at how American schools operate, what are our strengths, what are the lessons learned from our mistakes, what are the things that might fit or not fit, and then have some opportunity to explore those further. The first 2 cohorts were here for 6 months, so their experience is different from what you're going to experience because you'll be here for a year. The other piece is the interest may vary depending on the person's role back in your country. We have some folks that are technology teachers, so they're very interested to know about that. People that have taught math or taught science or taught English or reading, foreign language teachers. So we've had a wide variety of interests as well as job assignments as people are exploring how American education works. In addition, we've also had several supervisors who have been part of the cohort experience here, so we've looked carefully at how we might match them to people who have similar types of roles here. And one who was in the last cohort was a quality assurance supervisor, so that was an interesting one also to look at accreditation and how we might be able to share how we do that here that might be helpful back in your kingdom.
Okay. So do you think this kind of program will help Saudi teachers when they go back to Saudi?
I certainly hope so, because I will tell you, I've always found, and I would believe a lot of my colleagues would tell you the same thing, we know what we know, and we might know it really well, but having the opportunity to learn and know more about something is always an opportunity to get even better at the work we do. So you all have the opportunity, as you are across different places in the world, to get the best of the best ideas, bring them home, talk with each other about what's going to support the goals for the Saudi education system, and then what roles you can have that are part of what each of you do as you return to make those be a reality. I will also say the flip of that is we've learned a lot as we've gotten to know you all, because there's some things that you all do very well that I've said in my own practice and my own work, that's something I need to think more about. How might we respond to some of the other needs that we have as we're looking to make sure schools support and educate every child well? So I see it as a mutual learning experience. You've come here to learn about the United States and be part of our schools. I've found, and I know my colleagues would say the same, the colleagues in the school districts as well as the university colleagues, they've learned a lot through interacting with you. Your good questions, the things you want to know more about, the dive you're doing into some of the research, your projects that you work on are all opportunities for you all to learn, but also the opportunity for some of us to learn more.
It's an exchange process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The gallery walk that you had not the other day, it was about not quite a month ago, several weeks ago, was an opportunity for you all to share what you had learned. And there were a number of people from the faculty and staff here at Oakland University who were part of conversations all over the room as each of you was talking. And I heard the feedback, which I hope you did as well, which is they had learned a lot from your research and from your plans and your ideas. So it is an exchange.
So do you think those ideas might be possible to happen in the future when they go back?
Entirely possible, because what has also happened, as you may know, is some of the Saudi students have come over to the School of Education classes for our undergraduates who are becoming teachers, and have attended those and have been making presentations. We also had the opportunity for two of the cohort participants to go over to Rochester and present to the teachers in Rochester Middle School. You were part of that, you and Khalid. And the teachers there were very curious. Remember all the questions that were asked? And so it truly is an exchange of ideas. It's a way to share what we think works well, to talk with you about what works well, and then to say, okay, how can we make our respective systems stronger, better, serve each child well?
Okay, last question, Doctor. And like through working with Saudi teachers, anything you did learn about Saudi's educational system or anything?
One of the things I learned was there is a strong desire for your system to do well by every child, and the notion of how technology can support learning, how teachers can be even more skillful in teaching language arts or foreign language or math or science, that your government, the ministry, and you all as individuals are very serious about what this work called education is, and take that as something that is your profession, and you want to get even more invested in what the future will be like. Your government has a plan and a vision with goals, and the education system is very much a strong and important part of that. And so the opportunity that they've given you, as well as the challenge, is to go learn, come back, and help us help change and live into that goal. So as we're watching that happen, I will go back again to say, I think the U.S., as well as any other site that is fortunate enough to host a Khibrat cohort, has an opportunity certainly to share, but also to learn, so that we can get better here at what we do.
Well, that brings us to the end. Doctor, thank you very much for having us again.
It's my pleasure.
Wish you all the best. Thank you.
We're enjoying having you being part of our university for this year.